friends. Welcome to LeggLife Podcast. My name is Adam.
My name is Sherry.
Sherry Beth, what episode is this?
142.
It is, and here's the thing. Sometimes we sit down here in our little podcast studio and we have a topic that we have researched and that we have planned out and that we feel really ready for. Mm-hmm. And other times at 6 o'clock on Friday night, we look at each other and we're like, oh crap, we have a podcast tomorrow.
Dang it.
And then we also have no energy like we do this week to research or do anything, but we don't want to miss an episode.
Yeah.
And so some friends of ours came through.
Yep.
You guys, they saved us. So we have some friends who sent us a box, I don't know, I think last year sometime. Mm-hmm. And the box is called, oh gosh, what's it called? A Delve Deck?
It's called the
Delve
Deck.
Yeah.
We both just panicked. I almost brought the box in here with us just so we would know that. And I was like, no, I'll be good.
That would have been helpful. Mm-hmm. And basically what it is it's a deck of cards, and each card has a different question.
There's like 4 categories-ish.
And they're thought-provoking questions.
Yep.
We've used it before, I think on YouTube, maybe here on the podcast. Mm-hmm. But they're kind of questions that just spur conversation.
Yeah, and the 4 categories are based on it's color. So it's like the lightest one is kind of the lighter questions, and like the darker you get, the deeper the questions go.
Oh, is that how it works?
I think so, yeah.
Had no idea. And so we went through the box and we
delve deeper.
Delve Deck.
Correct.
Sherry Beth. And so that is what we're doing for this week's episode. We got 12 cards here, kind of 12 different prompts and questions that we thought, we would just start off and have a discussion. It's the kind of thing that, honestly, our brains, I'll be very honest with you, our brains feel very mushy. Mm-hmm. We have had a busy week, a heavy week, and our brains have paid the price this week. Mm-hmm. And so this is...
My body is now paying the price.
Your body is now paying the price? You've had a horrible headache all day.
Yes, I have.
And so we're just kind of getting through the week, gosh darn it, but we love doing this so much that we don't want to skip it.
We didn't want to miss one, so I think these cards came in at a great time.
I think they did too. Mm-hmm. Are you ready to jump into here?
Let's do it.
Okay, so some of these we've discussed. Some of these one of us has an answer for. Some of these both of us have answers for.
There's a couple cards I threw in there.
When I was gone?
Yep.
So I don't know what is all in here.
He left for a minute and I was like, ooh, I like this question.
Oh, God.
So you don't even know what's in there.
Great.
But I have a good answer for it.
Oh, perfect. Okay, great. Okay, question number 1. Starting light.
Yep.
What popular junk food holds no appeal for you? Mm-hmm. What do you got?
The first thing that came to mind to me is spicy Cheetos.
Like the Flamin' Hot Cheetos?
Yeah. I don't like spicy things. I wish I did, but I just can't handle it. And I love Cheetos. But I see zero appeal in having a snack food that is just going to burn your face off. Like, why?
Okay, that's fair. I mean...
snack food is supposed to be, like, fun, like, mindless food. Not food that you have to, like, burn your face off for.
I will say I really like Flamin' Hot Cheetos, but on the, Cheeto scale, they are my least favorite Cheetos. Mm. Like, I would take Cheetos Puffs over, Flamin' Hot Cheetos. Mm. Mine isn't that unsimilar to yours.
Yeah.
Mine is Takis.
Yeah.
I feel like people are losing their mind over Takis. Here's the thing. A taquito that is microwaved or in the oven or air fried, delicious little treat. Yum. But Takis, can't get behind it. Yeah. I just don't think they're that good.
Yeah, I would agree.
So the next one, here's I look down at the card and I instantly have a problem. Because I'm the one who picked this card thinking, oh, that's a great one. Uh-oh. I never thought about my answer. I realized I looked at the card. What time period?
I didn't really think about this either.
What time period? So we'll talk through this one.
Yeah.
What time period would you most like to vacation to? Here's why I like this card. Mm-hmm. I feel like you get asked the question a lot, what time period should you have been born in?
Yeah, or what would you like to travel to just to see or
but
whatever.
Vacation
to is an interesting.
What time period would you most like to vacation to? So I don't know the time period because I'm bad with years. But you know what mine is?
What?
I mean, this is going to be a horrible example, but mine is the Titanic era, not specifically the Titanic, because that story didn't end great. But what I mean by that is
you don't know when the Titanic?
1972.
14.
That's what I said.
Wow.
I knew it wasn't the 70s. It was a joke. But for me,
1912 or 14.
I literally don't care. Those people are long gone. But for me, it's that classic ocean liner time. It is the like getting dressed up, walking the promenade deck of the like ocean liners when you've never experienced the world outside of like your town before.
Yeah.
Like the golden age of travel where the world started to become open and accessible. That's where my mind goes. Just thinking about, plus, I love a good fancy hat. And back then, I feel like it was more normal for men to wear fancy hats.
That's true.
So I could wear my fancy hats
Yeah.
on one of these classic ocean liners.
Yeah.
What about you?
In theory, I like that idea.
Oh, but not in...
No, because while men got to wear fancy hats, women had to wear
Oh, yeah, okay. That's very fair. Actually, this is an interesting question.
restricting clothing.
This is an interesting question as a woman because, like, throughout history, like, historically, not a lot of great times, like, for the ladies.
Correct.
So, what's your answer then?
I don't know. Because this is the same thing. Like, we saw this question, we're like, ooh, that's a good one. And we put it in the stack. And then we're like, well, I didn't really think about my answer. Man, I don't know. There's a lot of really interesting... I love history, and I think that there's a lot of, like, interesting time periods, but I think that a lot of them revolve around war or, like, horrible times. And so I don't know that, like, vacationing, like, during the Civil War would be great.
Well, but here's the other thing. You are a comfort girly.
Correct.
And so you're not going to choose a vacation to a time when there's not indoor plumbing.
Correct. Or indoor heating, or yep. I know,
Yeah,
like
and-
automatic heating. Yeah, if I have to sit in front of a fireplace to be warm, yeah, count me out.
You don't have to have an answer to this.
I might not have an answer to this because, again, like, history fascinates me, but it's history, and I think that it's something you learn from and move on from.
Okay, so would the time period be now?
Oh, well,
Would you like to vacation to?
maybe, yeah.
There you go. Like,
Or in the future when things are even, like...
even more comfortable. Even more comfortable. All right, next question. I think this is one that only you have an answer to, but we'll talk about my struggle with an answer.
Yep.
What do people often wrongly assume about you?
Pardon me while I cough. I think that people, and I've heard this my whole life, oh, she's shy. I'm not shy. I'm quiet and observant. And I am not comfortable opening up around people that I don't know. But once I know you, I'm not shy. So I don't think that I'm shy. I think that it's something that people wrongly assume about me because I'm quiet.
Yeah, you are. I think that's true. I think that when people get to know you, and I've had a number of people that tell me this, that like when you speak, people listen because you are quiet and you listen and you pay attention and you're very present with people. But because you're quiet, it comes across as like shy or reserved.
Yep.
But that's not you.
Right. Or, I mean, and not even necessarily shy because I'm quiet. I come across as aloof or uncaring. But I'm not.
I actually do have an answer for this.
You do?
Yep. What do people often wrongly assume about you? You guys, the number of times in my life, as well as the number of times online, people have said, I don't think Adam's straight. You have no idea how often that has happened.
It's often.
It is
That's
often
true.
in both personal life, and it's one of the things I get trolled about online. It always makes me laugh because here's the thing. I don't know if people think that that's an insult.
It's not an insult.
It's actually a huge compliment to me.
Correct.
Because here's the thing. Most straight guys were really gross.
That's, you're not wrong.
You're just really gross. And so it's like, here's the thing. I love to take care of myself. Grooming's very important to me. Personal hygiene's very important to me. I get my eyebrows waxed. I get manicures. I like to keep my beard trimmed. In fact, it drives me crazy right now that it's not. I love those kind of things. I tend to be a much more emotional guy. In fact, I think that there's this stigma around masculinity that is horribly, horribly unhealthy.
Toxic.
That men can't be in touch with their emotions, but also can't be emotional. I would rather design a logo for an oil company than change the oil in my car, because that sounds stupid. I can literally pay somebody $59 to do that. Why would I learn? And so like I fully understand that like I don't fit like the typical mailbox. And the thing is like that has never bothered me.
No, and that's the thing is like I think like especially like the trolls who are like, oh, Adam's gay. I'm like,
Thank
that's
you.
supposed to be an insult.
Are you kidding me? Oh, I have great taste in almost literally everything.
He knows how to treat a woman.
Thank you. Amazing. Wow. I don't smell like an old toe. I bathe regularly.
I appreciate this about
Thank you.
All of these things.
But like it does happen a lot.
Yeah.
And so
does.
I think that's very funny.
I do too.
All right, ready for the next question? Yep. And okay, this is a funny follow-up question to that. What is something that always makes you cry after me talking about my emotions? Because I have an instant answer to that.
I feel like this would be a shorter podcast if we talked about things that don't make me cry.
Sherry, what doesn't make you cry? But like that is true. You are.
My emotions are always at the very surface, and it takes very little for me to cry. Honestly, like 15-second commercials can pull my little heartstrings, and I will tears down my face in 15 seconds. It takes very little. But there are certain things that I'm going to twist this a little bit. Not just something that makes me cry, but things that I seek out when I want to cry.
Okay. So at this point, you guys, we're throwing the cards out the window. We're just going to let Sherry do what Sherry wants.
That's pretty much
my life.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome.
Wish I was gay.
Okay. Well, okay. So there are times, you don't feel this. There's just times that you just want to get a good cry.
100%. I know exactly what you mean.
And there's things that I know without fail will make me cry hard, sob.
Like?
There's books, there's movies.
Examples, though.
Beaches.
Oh.
I cannot watch the movie Beaches without sobbing my little heart out.
The Bette Midler one?
Yep.
Okay.
And Barbara Hershey. Oh, goodness gracious. I cry. I have seen that movie. I can't even tell you how many times. And I seek out that movie when I just want to cry.
You just got to get a good cry on.
Yep.
What else?
There's other books. Fault in Our Stars always makes me really cry.
Yeah.
Movie and book. Gosh, the book. Yeah, I mean, probably like just those kinds of things, movies and books. Like if I really I know that I want to cry, I have like go-to things that will make me cry like instantly.
Yeah, I think I have that too. In fact, that's kind of a similar answer. So I took my approach a little bit different, but I will expand on mine. What is something that always makes you cry? I told Sherry that for me, I think about what is the current thing. And the current thing to me, I'm thinking that in a little over a week, we are going to see the movie Wicked. The song For Good will always make me cry. It is such a touching song about friendship and connection. That is normally what makes me cry. Like tugging on the heartstrings.
Human connection.
Yeah. You show me a TikTok.
Well, I think that's what makes me cry too.
You show me a TikTok of like kids getting the letter from their parents that they're getting adopted. Or of like military spouses coming home from deployment. Yeah. Those airport greetings. Like those, it's like, oh, I hope we have extra boxes of Kleenex in the house.
Well, and you know what's funny is like, I know. I mean, those make me cry too. And we'll be, laying in bed, like scrolling through your TikTok. And like one of those videos will come up and you're like, nope.
I'm like, absolutely not right now.
Or like we'll watch it for 5 seconds until we know what it is and we're like, oh no.
Absolutely not.
Nope.
I'm trying to go to sleep. I'm not trying to bawl my eyes out TikTok. Nice try, emotions.
So my emotions are always right at the very surface, and it takes very little to make me cry. I can, if I let myself think about something, I can make myself cry.
That's something that like whenever actors can do that, like cry on demand, I'm amazed because I can't do that. Like I cry easily when it comes to like sentimental, emotional, human connection things, but like I couldn't make myself cry.
I still get choked up just passing Missy's photo.
Really?
In our hallway. Yeah. Like, and I can't let myself think about her because I'm going to cry.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, oh my goodness.
That's how easy it is. Can you see the tears?
I can absolutely see the tears. That's very impressive. The other thing that makes me cry is kind of the overcoming odds. So I don't care how many times I have seen the hockey movie Miracle. I know I know we beat them, but that Miracle on Ice every time. Tears.
Yeah, I
absolutely
agree with that.
crying.
Cool Runnings.
Cool Runnings? Are you kidding me?
Carrying the sled across the
every
finish line.
time.
I can't.
Every freaking time. Those kind of movies just totally get me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I will. We need to pack tissues for Wicked because that song.
Oh, I cried so hard when we saw it live.
Because I knew you, I have been changed for good. Oh,
I know.
Stop.
Literally, like we were watching it like on stage, and the people next to us, like at intermission, were like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "No, I'm not okay."
I'm not okay. I'm not okay.
Are you not seeing what I'm seeing?
I will say, our answers to this question, I am understanding why people might not think I'm straight as I talk about my love for Broadway musicals and how much I cry at them. I'm slowly getting it.
I love these things about you.
I absolutely love it. I wouldn't want it any other way.
Nope.
Next question. This is one you slipped in there.
Yep, it is.
What's your most unpopular music opinion? And you know what? I have an absolute answer for it.
Yeah?
You must have an answer because you put the card in there.
Do.
Well, let me hear yours.
My unpopular music opinion?
Yep.
People are going to lose their shit.
Oh, no.
I think you know what I'm going to say.
I don't know what you're going to say.
Beyonce is overrated.
Oh, okay.
I am not a fan. I don't think she can sing very well.
Wow.
I'm not a fan. I think, I don't know. I think that her recent country album that came out, people lost their shit over because she's not a country singer. But if any country music artist had put that album out, they would have been laughed out of the genre.
I don't agree.
It was not good.
I thought it was really good.
I know you did.
And I think
you made me sit there and listen to it with you.
Because it was so good. I feel like you can dislike somebody, but you don't think she's a good singer?
I think that she has her moments, but I think that as a whole, she's not a good singer.
Wow. Mine might even be more controversial, though.
Uh-oh.
I freaking hate children's choirs. You guys.
You know, you're not wrong.
Here's the thing. I understand that we don't have kids, and it's probably very different when your kid has spent the last 6 weeks learning how to sing like Mary Had a Little Lamb, and then 30 of them are standing on stage, but oh dear God, it's so rough for me. It's to the point, Sherry knows this, if we're listening to a song and like a children's choir kicks in, nope, skip. I can't do children's choirs. But here's, you know what's...
I mostly agree with you.
You know what's interesting? I went and saw the Vienna Boys Choir, and they were stunning. But I think the difference is, like, that is a trained, like, professional... Like, these are, like, world-class singers.
Right. And while they are children, they are trained.
Yeah. In fact, for me... When I go, like, we've had friends that have had kids in choirs, and of course we love them, so we go support them. And for me, I always just want one of the kids to start doing things hilarious so that I can film
like
it.
a random dance or something.
That's what I want. Like, I am there
Break it down.
I'm there for the chaos of the kids choir, not the kids choir itself.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I absolutely can't.
Yep.
All right, here's one. You might have put this one in here as well.
Oh yeah, I did.
What do you find fairly easy that others seem to struggle with?
I felt like you would have a good answer for this.
I instantly know my answer.
Okay, so that's why I put it in there. I just thought it was an interesting question, but the thing that came to mind for me, and it's because you have me help you with it a lot, is Excel spreadsheets.
Oh yeah.
They come pretty easy to me. I do not math at all. Please do not ever ask me to math. That is not how my brain works. But I can Excel spreadsheet my way into any math equation that I need. I can figure out the formula to get the answer that I need.
It's very impressive to watch because, like, if I need anything in Excel, you're like, oh, do this, do this, do this. You can do here. You get the sum of this. You get that. And I was like, how did you know that?
It's just the way my brain works. In large part because of the jobs that I've had. My last 2 jobs have been very Excel spreadsheet heavy. And so I just have made myself learn it. But man, like I love it.
Yeah, and you're very, very good at it. But yeah, I think you're right. That's something that you find easy that others struggle with.
Yep.
Mine is maybe a unique answer, probably because of my job or my jobs. We actually talked about this at our home group, our church, our small little home church, a couple weeks ago. For me, I actually, not only is this easy, but it's where I feel like I am most like doing the thing that I'm supposed to be doing, is stepping into other people's crisis. Like when life has fallen apart and there is like turmoil and despair and destruction, I love being present with people in the middle of their lowest moment.
Yeah, and you're really good at comforting and, yeah, like, I mean, just being with people and not being like, it's going to be okay. But like,
Well, I think that's part
this
of
really sucks and I'm sorry, but this is happening.
I think
to you.
that's part of it, is that like when I'm with them, I understand that whatever the situation is, I actually lack the ability to help or fix, or to fix, not help. And so I understand just the power of presence and like being with somebody. I had something, I'm trying to think how to word this, where it's like saying what I'm allowed to say. We had a work event, an operation a couple of months ago, where I was with some trafficking survivors. And, there's a bunch of agents there and different things. And just being with them in the moment, even surrounded by arguably like the people in the country that are the best at this, and just being able to be with this person and sit there and look them in the eye and like start conversation with them that actually get them talking. I think I'm realizing that, this isn't something that other people know how to do or that people struggle with. That to me just comes so naturally.
And making people feel comfortable enough to open up to you.
Yeah. And
Yep.
I think part of it is the fact that I'm not there to fix them, or I'm
Right.
not there to fix the situation. Like I admit that like this sucks, this hurts, this is horrible, whatever the situation is, like acknowledging the pain and the heaviness of it. And then just like, I'm here to be with you. Like,
Right.
And then, yeah, just kind of being present with people in that. I don't know. That's where I feel really alive.
You're very good at it.
Thank you. We're going to switch right now to something less deep. What do you think could actually unite most people? Do you have an answer for this one?
Here's the thing.
You're an overthinker.
I'm an overthinker. I'm an Enneagram 5. I see all sides of everything, and sometimes I will create sides to things that aren't there. And I have a really hard time answering this because my brain is like, yeah, but at all times. And so I'm going to let you answer this one.
Okay, so for
You
me,
actually have a good answer for this, but I'm not going to steal yours.
I think I do have a good answer for this. And if you follow my personal Instagram, I posted it on my story the other day. I believe that what this world needs right now, in a time where we are as divided as I feel like we've seen in my whole life, we're divided politically, we're divided racially, economically. There's everything in this world that divides us. But I do believe there is something that we all can unite behind. Mm-hmm. That is the fact that Christmas Shoes is the worst Christmas song of all time. This is what we need. This is the cause we need to unite behind.
Yeah.
Christmas Shoes is the worst Christmas song of all time. Here's my problem with Christmas Shoes. If you don't know the story, it's about this boy whose mom is dying.
It's based on a book.
Great. Don't want to read that book. It's about this kid whose mom is dying and goes out shoe shopping because he wants his mom to have nice shoes when she meets Jesus. How about you spend time with your dying mom rather than out perusing footwear, kid? Less time at Payless Shoes, less time at Famous Footwear. Go be with your mom. Second thing I hate about it, that is just horrible theology. like it's just...
We don't get to take our bodies with us.
Yeah.
Thank God we don't take our bodies with us.
It's like, where's my son? I don't know. I didn't see him the last hour of my life because he was buying shoes that I don't even get to bring with me to heaven. My God. This damn song.
I know. You are so worked up.
It gets me so worked up. Whenever I listen to it, I'm just like,
I love you so much.
go be with your freaking mom. In fact, can we talk about this? I don't think I've ever told you this. So last year when I was with my mom in Colorado,
Did you go buy her shoes?
she had cancer. No, you're going to laugh at this though. So, I get down there and the first several days she was in the hospital and we didn't know if mom was going to make it out of the hospital.
Right.
Or how long she had or any of that. And so, was sitting there and my brother, had to go do something at one point. And so I walked to a coffee shop that was down the street. And as I was walking to the coffee shop, I had just left mom in the hospital room. And I was going to go work for a little bit and then I'd come back after she woke up. And I started to laugh on my walk because I passed a shoe store. And I was just like, I'm glad I'm not going to like buy my mom her Christmas shoes. Like, I was just laughing so much. I was like, oh God, I'm the kid in the song. Like, left mom in the hospital so I can go buy her some shoes so she looks nice when she meets Jesus. It's the worst theology. Actually, that's not true. There's a lot of worse theology. But
There's bad theology out there everywhere.
oh God, I get worked up with that song.
I know you do.
I will not, as soon as it comes on, when I hear the first chords, I will shut the radio off.
I know you
will.
will.
Sit in silence rather than listen to that crap. Please tell me some of you agree with me on that.
I agree with you on that.
All right, Sherry. Next question. What did you hate as a kid but love now as an adult?
The first thing that came to mind for me was seafood. Now,
Such a good answer.
as a caveat,
Okay.
I was raised in Indiana, which is a landlocked state.
Not the best seafood state.
Correct. So, really the only seafood that I would eat when I came up here was shrimp scampi. That was it. 21 years later, there's very little seafood that I don't like. I don't like salmon.
Yeah.
But that might be about it.
You try like, but here's the thing. Everything from eel, calamari, like
I've tried octopus.
scallops, like
I
everything.
wasn't a huge fan of whale.
Well, whale is a very, it's a very acquired taste.
Yeah. I wasn't a huge fan of that. But I tried it. But yeah, most other like seafood I will eat. Any kind of shellfish, any kind of whitefish. Yeah.
So I don't know that I have a good answer for this one. The first thing that came to my mind was a conversation with my mom about when I was a kid, how I would just never sleep. Like, I just would never sleep. And so the first thing that came to my mind as a kid, hating sleep, but now as an adult, loving sleep.
You'll just take a nap anytime.
I will take a nap.
If you are horizontal, you are probably sleeping.
Absolutely. I love a good nap. I love a good night of sleep. I just love sleep now. And I feel like as a kid, I didn't sleep. At least based on some of the stories my mom has said, I didn't sleep much.
Yeah. So what she said was basically like you would sleep for like 2 hours and then just wake up so happy.
But here's the interesting thing.
And you still do. You'll take a 20-minute nap and then wake up so happy.
In the morning, I wake up super happy normally.
I know you do.
So it's like that hasn't changed, but I feel like I love sleep.
You actually sleep.
Oh, I love sleep.
Yeah.
Next question. This was a fun one to discuss. What was the first major historical event you remember witnessing?
Yeah. What came to mind to me was the Challenger.
The explosion.
The explosion. It was in 1989, I think. I'm pretty sure. So I think that I was like 8 years old. And I don't think that I would have seen it like live, but I know they like broadcast it kind of live, but I don't think I saw it live. I do remember seeing news clips of it and thinking, oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really scary.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's like the first kind of major historical thing.
It's interesting thinking about it because
you would have been a year and a half older than me.
Well, that's the thing is that
you don't remember that.
I don't remember that. And the thing that I remember is from like 1990, I think. I remember the Gulf War. I remember being at my dad's house. And it's interesting because like I feel like that was kind of the first essentially televised war.
Yeah.
Right? Like when we saw the bombs going and we saw all this stuff. And I feel like I was just glued to the TV during the Gulf War when I was with my dad.
It was the start of your news junkie era.
I honestly think it probably was the start of my news junkie era.
Or addiction, maybe not era because you've never grown out of it.
Yeah. And so like still to this day, that's kind of me when something, if there's a hurricane that's hitting, if there's something going on, even like election coverage, like just always watching.
Yep.
And so to me, I think it was the Gulf War. And that's weird to me because I would have been 10 or 11. And it's odd that I don't remember any historical news things before that.
Yeah.
Very strange. Okay. Ooh, I think you might have put this one in there too.
Did I?
What is both a oh no, we talked about this.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I got an answer for this one. What is both a blessing and a curse?
Your answer is really good, and I'm gonna piggyback.
You want me to go?
Yep.
Being an empath.
Yeah.
Empathy. Like, it is...
Yeah.
It is such a blessing because to feel the energy and the pain and the emotions of other people, I think helps us connect to them in a deeper, more understanding way. It's hard to be an empath and not have empathy for other people and their situation. And so I very am thankful for that. I feel like it's helped me connect to the lived experience of others. But it is a real curse because when you're an empath, there's no turning it off.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just feel so deeply that it's just like it is a such a pain. The pain in others is so heavy.
Visceral.
That's right. It's a pain in us. And so to me, I would not give it up. But boy, there are times that it is a heavy weight to carry.
I wish I could set it down once in a while.
What a good answer. I wouldn't give it up, but I wish I could set it down.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Look at you, just like letting me answer and then coming in with like the best line. Damn it, Sherry.
But I 100% agree with that. Yeah, I love that I can feel what other people are feeling and really be able to like empathize with them, even if I haven't actually experienced it. I feel like I can feel what they're feeling. But man, it also sucks. It's also really hard. That's also why I have very high anxiety in crowded places, because I feel what everybody else is feeling.
Yeah.
At all times.
And so it's this like crush of emotion from all around.
Yep, it's too much.
Interesting.
Yep.
This next one is a really interesting question that I don't think I've ever heard this question before in my life. What do you think would be on the menu at the only restaurant in hell?
Only spicy things.
Oh,
only like ghost pepper things. That's it.
Wow. Is that because hell is hot?
I just went to the kinds of food that I would absolutely hate to have to eat.
Interesting.
And at the only restaurant in hell, if all you were offered was very, very, very spicy things, I think I'd rather starve.
I thought, so where my mind went was you sit down at hell, you start, reservation for one, Adam Legg. And you sit down and they hand you a menu.
I'll be there with you. It's fine.
Thanks. We'll both be there. Dope. Hand you a menu and like, there's literally only one thing on the menu. It's like a side of malt vinegar. It's not anything that like
malt vinegar, not just like straight vinegar.
I don't know. I just was thinking like what, because I feel like you'd see malt vinegar on a menu. You know, think of like fish and chips or something. Like you could see that. I've never really seen like a side of vinegar. And so I'm just like a side of malt vinegar because it's like, it's also, I think of, yeah, I don't even want that.
Right.
Here's the thing. You're in hell. It's probably really hot. You're very thirsty. Can you imagine drinking malt vinegar? Like when you're already thirsty, it provides you no sustenance. Like there's no, just like, it's pointless.
Or just hot water.
This restaurant sucks. Like this is the worst restaurant in hell, literally.
Yeah.
So there you guys go.
It's the only restaurant in hell.
What's that?
It's the only restaurant in hell.
It's the only restaurant in hell. Can't even go somewhere else. Last question. I like this one.
This is an interesting one.
This is a good one. What feels like therapy to you, but isn't?
I have a few answers for this.
You have a few answers. Can I make a statement first before you answer?
Yes.
I just want to say, first of all, we are big believers in therapy.
Of actual therapy.
There's no replacement for that.
Right.
I think sometimes we actually, and I've been guilty of this, we do something that feels like therapy, and then it's like, okay, that was good enough. I might not need therapy.
Check.
Nope. 100% still need therapy.
Yep.
Get a freaking therapist.
Yep.
And so I just want to preface our answers by saying, like, none of these are an actual replacement for therapy, but sometimes they feel like it.
Sometimes I feel like it.
What are your answers? You said you have a few.
I have a few.
Okay.
A really good book.
Oh. Okay, can I ask a follow-up?
Yep.
What, because you have different books. You got fairy smut, and then you got like just like sweet romances, and then sometimes you read like other kind of books.
YA dystopian.
YA dystopian stuff. And so is there a specific kind of book or just a good book in general?
Just a good book in general. I have a wide range of books that I have rated at 5 stars.
Yeah.
And man, if it's just very well written and very likable characters, deep characters with actual problems that like with some kind of like redemption character arc and in them, man, like I can find and again, it's not a replacement for therapy, but there's a lot of times that whatever I'm going through in my life is echoed in whatever book I'm reading. And I just feel like I'm like working through my issues by reading a really good book.
Yeah, I get that.
Yep. So that, or I have a playlist on my phone that is all instrumental music. And man, there is something about, and I have two actually. I have a classical that's all like Bach and Beethoven and Chopin and all that kind of stuff. But then there's just
I think his name is Chopin.
It might be Chopin. So I have like classical music, and then I have just instrumental music, and it's got stuff that's by artists that have either written their own just instrumental music, like Michael W. Smith actually has a really good instrumental album, and Owl City has a bunch of like instrumental albums, but then people that have taken like popular songs and just made them instrumental. So that's all in like my instrumental playlist, and there is something so calming, I think. Like if my brain is in turmoil, I can put on one of those playlists and it relaxes me, and it calms my soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm instantly thinking this card would have been a good full podcast.
Probably.
Because I think we both have...
We can keep it out and actually make it a full podcast.
No, we're already recording, Sherry. I think for me, because as you were talking, I was getting a list in my head. Mm-hmm. It was very different, because when I first started, the first thing I was going to say was my float tank. Like going to a float feels like therapy. Just the sensory deprivation, the complete sense of disconnection feels very therapeutic. But then I started thinking about other things. I think about, for me, a road trip or just driving. Driving has always been very therapeutic to me. Walking on a beach, like when we go to beach vacation, there's times that you'll be sitting in your chair with a book. In fact, I think this is a good example of this for both of us.
Yeah.
You'll sit in your chair with a book and read for hours. And I will just take off walking down the beach.
Yep.
And I can't even see you. I look back, I don't even know where you are.
Yeah, same. Like I'm like, oh well, he's here somewhere, so he'll come back.
Just walking down the beach with my feet in the sand and just breathing and picking up shells, and every now and then walking in the water just feels so therapeutic to me.
Yeah.
A freaking peanut butter parfait from Dairy Queen. Like sometimes just something like that, just a good meal or a treat, something like that feels like it.
Good conversation.
I was just going to say, going to like a bar with a friend, having a drink and just having a deep conversation. The other night I went to the gym, was having kind of a rough day, and I just needed to move some. And so I went to the gym at like, I don't know, 9 p.m.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to bed. You're like, I'm going to the gym.
Going to the gym.
All right.
That was really therapeutic.
Yeah.
And so I think that like, I think some of it is knowing like, what do I need in this moment? Sometimes what I need is a drive. Sometimes what I need is a vacation to a beach. Sometimes what I need is just a freaking peanut butter parfait.
Right.
You know?
Sometimes what I need is just a good book.
Totally.
Yeah.
And so I think all of those things are, can definitely, feel like therapy, but again, as a reminder,
not a replacement for real true therapy.
Not a replacement for real true therapy. I feel like this is where we're like, this week's episode is sponsored by BetterHelp.
I know.
Use code LeggLife. No, we don't. We're not sponsored. We don't have a discount code for BetterHelp. Yeah, that's what a funny card. I feel like we definitely could have made a full podcast about that.
Probably.
Maybe someday we will.
Yeah.
So friends,
deep dive into it.
There you go. Our Delve deck.
Delve deck.
I gotta say, I am so thankful for our friends who sent us this.
Yep. Because
these are really great, and they're not normal questions.
No, and some of them, I mean, we kind of looked through just a handful, and I think that there's some that with some more energy and actual like brain function, I would really enjoy answering these other questions.
And it's true. And
I just don't have the energy or the brain function right now.
And then there's some in there that are so deep and personal that it's like, oh, we could never make a podcast about that.
Right.
Like we could never have this discussion publicly. Like this is like, but a great discussion between the two of us in our living room with like wine.
Yeah. Or with like really close friends of ours, or like my sister and brother-in-law, or like, people that we are close to and can trust, like can have these deep, real conversations with.
So here's what I want to know, guys. We're going to end the podcast now. And so, we always, or normally end it by asking you a question that has to do something about the topic that we talked about. And today's question is, do you agree that Christmas Shoes is the worst freaking Christmas song of all time? Spend time with your mom. Stop shopping for footwear. Spend time with your mom. My God, you don't need orthopedic soles for mama. Go spend time with her.
Yeah.
Holy hell.
I know, honey.
I'm so worked up. I'm so sorry.
It's
My
okay.
blood,
Okay,
if I was wearing an Apple Watch, it would say breathe. Stop.
Accelerated heart rate.
It would say stop talking. Is he talking about Christmas shoes again? Yep, sorry. That's what I want to know. Do you agree with me? Please tell me you agree with me.
Yeah.
You guys, we love you so much. We're so thankful you're part of our LeggLife community. We're so thankful that you guys listen to our conversations here on the podcast about deep topics and silly topics when we deep dive on one thing, or when it's just a random conversation about random questions.
Yep.
Christmas shoes.
Christmas shoes.
Stupid ass song. All right, friends, we love you. We'll see you on the next LeggLife podcast.
Bye.